On this episode, we're gonna be doing, I want to say a quick belt job, but on this car it's not really quick because uh, you got to get one belt out of the way to get. Well, you got to get, what is it, the alternator belt off, which also powers up the power steering, and then the power steering powers up the power steering. Let me start over. You got to get the alternator belt, which also runs off the water pump, and then the water pump powers up the power steering. But you really only got to loosen up the alternator. Here, let me show you. Okay, you got the water pump right there, which powers, it also runs the alternator, and the power steering comes off the water pump, and then of course the water pump and the alternator also run off the crank. But the one I'm going to do today is which is that one, the AC belt, which is squeaking whenever you turn it on, and that one's behind this water pump, crank, alternator. So you got to loosen up where is it at? Got to loosen up this one, and then this guy here, which is 12. This is a tensioner. This one locks it in, and there's another one underneath. But we'll get after it here after the intro. What's up, broskies? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Gilbert. Okay, so first things first, you gotta loosen up the alternator. Best thing I did, or to make it work, I jacked it up, because you got to get underneath. So jack it up, put jack stands, and then there's a cover. There's a cover that goes right here. Show you like that. There's a cover which has two bolts, one here and one there, and is number 10. Two of them, one here, and I recommend taking that one off and then turning the wheel to the right in order to get to that good action. Of course, you got to take off the alternator. Okay, get this one right here. You got to get it from the back side, which is just locks it in. I'll show you that one, which is that one right here above the oil filter, which is loosens that up. And once you loosen it up, you get full motion, full movement of the alternator, and it'll actually go up. It loosens it up real nice. Once you get to a certain point, you gotta get this guy right here, which I already got it loose, so raise it up. It's on a pivot. Let me show you. It's on a pivot, so raise it up and then you slide. Is that maxed out? No. Yeah. Oh, let me get you a good shot. Yeah, you raise it up and then it just slides on that track for the adjustment. So you raise it up all the way up, and then now you can take the belt off. See See, now it's all nice and loose. Just take it off. Well, you got it. You don't have to take it off the top, just off of the crank. Because now you got to get this one off. Which power steering. I mean, AC goes around down here and then through the crank. And as you can see, this one, it's already, the ribs are already gone. So whenever you turn on the crank, I mean, whenever you turn on the AC, it just squeals really bad. You guys are wondering why I'm wearing a hoodie. It's like it's like 40 degrees today, and it's kind of raining. So not the best conditions to be doing this, but as you can see, the rain, lovely. But I'm gonna get through it. You know, pain is only temporary, so I'll get it. But I just thought I'd take y'all guys along for the ride. So let's get back under. I'm already down to the tensioner. Wait, let me get you under here. Which the tensioner to that pulley, this guy to get the belt off, is right here, which looks like a 10 millimeter. I'm guessing that when you loosen that up, it pulls the belt, pulls it back. And then when you tighten it, when you tighten it, it probably pulls it back this way. And when you loosen it, it goes that way. I don't know, we'll see. Okay, so it is a 10. I mean, it's not a 10, it's 12. And it's a loosening. What's going on here? What the heck? Can't do it by hand. It's getting tight there. What's going on? It's supposed to be adjuster. What's up? What's up? What's up? Hold on, let me figure this out and I'll come back to you. So this is just slow going. I mean, you just have to keep on loosening. This thing slides over very slowly when you loosen it. This whole wheel is supposed to slide left, which is sliding left, but it's just taking a long time. But as you see, I already got it pretty much loose. Just keep going. Keep loosening it till you finally get the belt out, because I mean, that's still a little tight, but it's easier because this belt's missing a whole lot of material. But when you put the new one on there, it's going to have way more material. So make sure you loosen the tensioner enough. Come on. Let's take a look at this belt. Oh, let's see the carnage. Oh wow, this thing had, look at that guy. I say it was time for a new belt. Okay, here's the new one. You mechanic guys might know the brand of this by just the color, but they don't pay me to advertise. I'm a jerk, I know. So before you put the new one on, you want to measure them, make sure you got the right one, which this one is the right one. And the model or the belt number, this is the belt number. For the AC, for the Hyundai Accent, like a 2009. Alright, Well, I'm going to loosen this up a little more because I know that belt's not going to fit on right away. And I'll install. All right, I think I got enough. How's that? Okay. Now, put this guy over the top of the, around the pulley of the AC, like so. Now I'm gonna slide this smooth side around the tensioner. That, all right, and then this guy goes all the way to the back of the pulley. Oh man, do I not have enough? Or should I put it on the crank pulley first? Let's try put it on the crank pulley first. Okay, put it around the tensioner, around the crank pulley, and then oh Jesus. Okay, at this point I think we should take it to the top. Go to top. See right there. Here's the belt. Just gotta reach in there. Reach in there and grab it. Slide it over the pulley. I'm gonna loosen that up till I finally get it on. Alright, now I've loosened it enough where you can see that little track where it slides in right there. Right in there. So now this thing's got to come way over. Yeah, should be a quick one. That damn tensioner right there. That's something else. Wish it could have been the one that spring loaded. But I don't know why they did that. It's just pain in the ass. So yeah, I'm gonna tighten that guy up, put it on time lapse, show you how much that sun gun slides over. Alright. Oh, you saw that? It pulley moved a lot. But it happened really fast, but really it took about 3 minutes of wrenching on that. And my knuckles hate me. So yeah, you don't want it too tight. A little bit of play in it, because if not, you'll get it this start winding. You'll wear out your belt too quick, and you can possibly destroy your bearing on your tensioner. And since this belt is the hardest one to get to, because you got to pretty much take off this belt here in order to get it, it's the furthest one back. I mean, while you're there, you might as well change out this one, put that one back on. In my case, it does need it, but I don't have it, so I'm just gonna put this one back and do that one on a later date. But if you do buy this one at the same time, the water pump alternator, I mean, it just goes over this one, that pulley and that pulley, which is the easier one. Because the tensioner, it's a whole lot better, as you can see. And while you're there, you can take off, if you were doing your power steering belt too, you know, you'd loosen, you turn this one till you got, where's it at? There's a nut right there, but you got to turn this guy, there it is. You got to turn it there in order to loosen this one. There's the pivot point. No, that's not the pivot point. That's the, yeah, this is the pivot, the slider, and down there, which is that nut right there. You also got to tighten it, turn to get to. That one is the pivot. That's the pivot point down there, and this is the slider, the adjustment. So if you are adjusting this part, you'd put like a screwdriver or a pry bar in here, and you wedge, and it slides it forward or back, you know, however. So yeah, I mean that the AC one seems to be, and if you need room, you can always pull this out and slide it over, get it from here to there. In order to put your hand in here to grab that belt, put it over, and then if you're replacing this belt, I mean that's the part number for the water pump and alternator combo belt, but we're not replacing this one right now. But, you know, while I'm here, I might as well show y'all. So now you got them there and there over them, you just go down underneath, grab it, slide it over the crank, and then do your tightening, which that one up there is the number 12, which is already on the ratchet right there. I mean, we're done with the belt I wanted originally work on, so now you got to grab this flip-a-majig here, put it down, there it is, tighten it, because when you tighten this, it pulls the alternator away from the block and it gives it the tension on the belt. Yeah, it looks better. Yeah, it gives it the tension, which you tighten up. Yeah, this one, tighten up this one, and then this one right here is what locks it down. And don't forget to tighten up the one at the bottom, which this one's a bit of a pain to get to. Oh no. Oh no. Drop my wrench. Gee golly whiz, Batman. Man. Yeah, I recommend having a ratchet that does pivoting, because it's kind of a pain to get in there. So, you know, it almost makes more sense to pull this out. We'll tighten this up, tighten that up, and then you lock it in, tighten the bottom one, and then put this cover back on with those two bolts, and you are done, my friend. That's it. You successfully did your belts.